How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lo4f, and today I wanted to go and try out this mission called Mobile Telephony. Telephony? I don't know. Never really heard of the word before. I was a bit suspicious it wasn't even a real word, but when I typed it for the title of this video, it actually recommended me the word, so it is real. But anyway, yeah. You got to go over here, and like when you go into the mission, it says you need to go and get the mobile telephony, and then an oversized cargo. So it's listing kind of two things. When you click on the mobile one, it takes you to that trailer. Click on the oversized cargo, it doesn't really show you anything. I remember when I was driving around there when I did the train mission, that I believe there was some cargo on the trailer, but yeah, I just wasn't sure if it was going to end up like trying to send me somewhere else, but I wanted to try it out. Yeah, I'm taking the Voron for this one, of course. Got us all this goddamn horse of a vehicle. You've heard of crew cabs. This is like a loaf cab. Just makes everything better. Look, his eyes literally lit up when he knows he gets to come for the journey. Yeah, I thought I'd take the Voron Grad. It's got a new paint job, looks pretty good. And I've not already I've tried it a little bit on these newer maps, but I tried it I think on something on Black Badger Lake, and it was a bit of a trollish area. I ended up cutting through all that ridiculous mud in the middle of the map, so it didn't go amazingly well. Like, this is a very nice truck to drive. Obviously, out of the Vorons, this one has got kind of engageable diffs rather than diffs always on, so I don't know. I definitely prefer this over the Voron AE, but the Voron AE is clearly an extremely good truck in this game. I think the biggest thing I don't like about the Voron AE is its like lack of turning, or its slow turning speed. But to be fair, I think all the Vorons have got slightly like pretty slow turning speed. This one has really. The only thing I quite like about it, especially when you're in the high gear, it tends to drift pretty nicely. I think this one does, so you can kind of help the turning circle by basically flooring it in high gear, and yeah, it helps. But yeah, while I'm going on, I mean, I just keep testing which vehicles can and can't hold a loaf, because you've got to know these things. Yeah, the Voron Grad's got like a nice little bit of room. It's got a fuel tank on one side, but the loaf's like front wheels are pretty much hooked over. And he sits on there pretty well. It's not catching any wheels, not causing any issues. Technically, if I tip now, if I went to roll, which the Voron Grad is very good for not rolling, that's one of the big reasons why I do like it. It looks similar-ish to the Voron D, but the Voron D has got a lot of weight, like, it's like a slab of weight in the roof, and it tips a lot easier. I think, yeah, this one hasn't, so it's pretty good for that. But yeah, if I was to tip though, because the loaf is sort of sat wider than my cab, I just kind of stub either end of the loaf on the ground, and then I wouldn't tip. Those logs are back as well. Oh no, wait there. Oh no, that would have been a different playthrough. Oh, forget that then. I used those logs the other day on one of the missions, but yeah, I was on my second playthrough with mods. And now I was trying to get off the train tracks. Stuff the loaf into the wall. But yeah, you can see in the distance, there is a trailer. Stuffed him in the wall again. Still trying to get off them tracks. Yeah, and there's an oversized cargo on top of it, so I was hoping / assuming that that was going to be the situation. In the end, yeah, fully get off the tracks and kind of just floor it diagonally across them. However, you can see the loaf has kind of scooted its way over a little bit, and at this point all I was going to do is get here and take the loaf off the back anyway. I do need to make a rather tight turn. See, he's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. He allows me to make the tightest turn the world has ever seen. That's probably about loaf levels of steering. And again, yeah, like I say, I was going to get the loaf off, but then as I was about to, I ended up winching to a bush. That big pole right behind me, I can't winch to that for some reason. It's not the end of the world, but while I was looking, I was like, well, the loaf isn't actually touching anything, and where I could see the saddle, I was just curious at this point, like, oh, I wonder if I could attach the trailer. Like, if it'll fit. Yeah, that's what she said. And, yeah. I thought the trailer's either going to lunge forward and kind of smack my loaf out of the way, but no, there is plenty of room. Plenty. Even if I need to turn and that, the trailer kind of hinges in a little bit, there'll still be room. So, long story short, I kind of winched the loaf forward a little bit. His wheels are sort of caught in the frame. However, there's two reasons why he's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. One, he basically predicted the future, which you'll see soon. But also, I probably have got my winch attached to him at the minute, I believe. But yeah, I don't need to. He's kind of locked himself into the frame. So he's just a roof rack that's, yeah, he's now a Voron Grad roof rack, which is pretty good of him. But as well, he's like a weight distribution loaf. Because then what I was trying to do is I'm going down these train tracks, kind of lean that way. Him sticking out like that kind of keeps me weighted nicely, and we are absolutely flying down this train track. And you'll see, where is it, coming up, that tree, my loaf was like in the middle. He probably would have caught his nose on that tree, but he already knew, that's why he's moved over. It's the kind of quality you get from a goddamn horse or vehicle. And then going along here, I mean, this definitely, I definitely believe this saved my bacon. So, he's leaning out to the right, I kind of scooted along here, slipped down, started hitting the water, trailer started to go. What I didn't want to do was unpack the cargo, so I just kind of steered into it, and I genuinely think, if that loaf wasn't hanging his arse end over to the right, that I would have tipped then, but I think that last little bit of weight hanging over stopped me going, stopped the cargo and everything going. And it was just enough that, yeah, I could steer into it. I had to cut through this swampy bit, which, as you can see, was probably not the best angle of approach. But, importantly, we didn't tip. So I don't have to go and bring a crane vehicle or anything. I have to go and get Dolphin and Loaf sat in the yard. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if it did happen, but just out of sheer principle, I wanted to try and get myself out of there. It was going well at first, sort of climbing out of there, but again, they've definitely messed around with the gears, because I remember the Grad was one like that sticks in my mind for being extremely lenient / non-existent as far as like rev caps and all that go. It was even a very nice truck in the off-road gearbox, because it felt like the what the off-road gearbox should just be like in every truck. It was a lot freer with the revs, and thus it was a very nice gearbox to use. I did use the off-road in it a bit. Yeah, but the high range in the high range gearbox is pretty nice. But as I was driving out there in just the basic low with the diffs on and everything, a few of those wheels were starting to judder and all sorts, like it was struggling for power a bit, and I'm pretty certain the Voron Grad is S plus on the power. And yeah, again, I just remember it being like not like that at all. It was pretty good for feeding revs in, even with the standard low range. So yeah, whatever they've done since they added that fine tune. I don't know what I'm hooked on right now. I was looking around, I wasn't sure if they'd hit another stump in that bush or something, but I actually have no idea. I just kind of reversed, turned around to the right of it, and that was it. It let me go. And to be fair, it was a pretty quick mission overall tonight, I'm sure. In no small part, thanks to the goddamn horsepower vehicle, who has already saved us multiple times. Tightened our turning circles, and yeah, stopped us tipping into a swamp. Yeah, yesterday, I didn't make a video yesterday. I had well, one, I stayed awake and everything, so I was pretty tired, but I had a load of phone calls to make. I got a bloody letter from my electric company. They're off their rockers. They send me different bills all the time. They sent me a bill for £8,800, and it's like, what? Like, am I responsible for the England's Tesla charging or something? And then, funnily enough, when I rang them up, it was like a day after the letter was dated. They said it's now 9,800. So apparently I'd used another £1,000 of electric in a day. Like, what the hell am I doing? Powering a bloody spaceship or something? Got to go and check my attic, make sure there's not like a gigantic Chinese sweatshop in there. I'm running like 38 sewing machines or something. So yeah. But they're not long. Oh well, it was a little while ago. They're very intermittent with their bill sending. But once they sent me a bill for £5.5 grand, and then a week later they sent me a bill that was corrected or something to £1.83. Like, they honestly just have no idea what the hell they're doing. It's the same. My granddad, like I said, lives downstairs, and his electric is ridiculously high as well. To the point where, because he's like, they gave him COVID at the hospital and that, there's been carers and various people kind of getting involved in different things. And my mum had to send a load of examples of the bills he's paying at the minute. And there's some woman who's nothing to do with electricity or anything, like with the council, rang back and said, how on earth is he paying like 350 quid a month in electric bills? And yeah, my mum said, I'll send you the bills, I'll show you. And now this woman's even said, I'll look into it, because it's a ridiculous amount. So I don't know what's going on here, but it's yeah, the fact that someone who isn't even involved in electricity or anything, just from the council, has literally said that's the most insane bill I've ever heard for an electric bill is, yeah, kind of gives you something. And like I said, they're charging him $350 a month. They decided to charge me $1,000 a day, so god damn. Like, I think I might be powering the stretch of motorway or something. But anyway, yeah, so I had a load of phone calls to make. I wanted to get them done, sitting on hold for bloody 8. They had the worst static, crackling hold music. It was horrific. I know they can't exactly use like the latest, greatest songs, but I don't know, just play nothing otherwise. Play anything, play, I don't know, just not what they did. Anyway, that rambling. We're here, and yeah, fortunately, the mobile telephony and the oversized cargo is all in one. So, a mobile telephony, it turns out, is a sideboard, no, damn, a flatbed. A flatbed semi-trailer. And of course, just in case you thought, oh, the Lo4f's stuck. Of course he ain't stuck. He's a goddamn horse of a vehicle. Yeah, as for the money it gives you, what was it, about $8 or something? It's not too bad. It wasn't really a difficult journey, if I'm honest. And it was about 1,000 XP again. Shame it's useless, but see, not only that, but the Lo4f also broke more fences with his horn. That's what you get for driving a professional. But yeah, that's about done. Pretty good pair they made. I'll give him that. I'll jump back on just because he can. Gonna go for a little drive back to the base, but the wheels must have clipped and he came loose. He comes off, but look at him, does a little spin, doing a wheelie, just waving, letting everyone know that I'm good. Didn't hurt. And he's off. Look at him go. And I was driving now, he's like a racehorse. I mean, literally, look at him go. He's a beast. Grabs the Voron. And considering he's towing a Voron, still picking up a bit of speed. Having the time of his life. Yes, I did tow the Voron back with a Lo4f. How I roll. So he gets back. Say hello to Dolphin and Lo4f. Bunch of professionals in their own right. For whatever reason, I like to splat the wall when I get back now. I don't know why. But yeah, that's about it for today though. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that helps. Thanks for watching. And I'll be back soon.